Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor podcast.
You know, but why don't we get into what we like to do around here, you know? Because it's that time to talk about Bachelorette on our show! Ha ha ha, yes! But before we get talking about the Bachelorette, YouTube, I'm going to need you to go ahead and subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new Bachelor content just like this. And if you just did, oh man, huge shout out to you. Woo-wee, air horns for you. Oh man, I love where we're at these days with, YouTube. We're so close to that 200 subscriber mark, and I'll be very excited if we can get there. So why don't we try to push for at least a couple more subscribers so we can hit that. Maybe you could be the 200 subscriber or be, within our first 200, which is an amazing feat for us. So, and also we'd like to shout out our comment crew, the people that have been leaving comments on our videos. You guys have been amazing in there. The conversations have been great. We got a shout out to OGs, the Nancy Drew crew. We had Catherine Ann, Chelsea Allen, Marion SP, Kathleen Kent is missing this week, but I don't know. It's hard to get the whole crew together this summer, but they're popping in and out, making themselves known.
I mean, that sounds about right for real life.
What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, appreciate you guys always. Returning into comments, we got Marty, of course. We got Beth Wanger. We got Sunny Days 00, RS 13256, and Livy Burke are in the building. You guys are amazing, leaving some comments in there. So very happy to see you guys in there again. And you can get a shout out too. All you got to do is leave a comment below on our video from this past week, and the next week we'll shout you out. You can definitely get a comment too. We wanted to highlight a comment of the week. This week's comment of the week comes to us from Beth Wanger, and she says, Brayden had 2 victories, calling Sean the Shrek Prince Charming. The Prince Charming from Shrek, and his diffusing of Aaron B's ear with, "You're good, dude. You got a big dick" line. I don't remember him saying this, but I kind of want to see if you do. If this is the last we see of him this season, I'm okay with his self-elimination. Maybe with a little time to mature. Bachelor 2033. Wow, she gives us a decade, to see Brayden become the Bachelor, which we've seen crazier things. So, I love this comment. V, what are your thoughts?
I agree with the Shrek Prince Charming, because that is exactly what Sean looks like, and that's why, I think that's probably why I'm such a hater of him, because he just gives, he gives the energy of just wait until my father hears about, that's his energy. So I just can't, I'm on board with that. And I feel like I sort of remember the big dick line, but I don't I feel like it was so offhanded, as I think it was when he was in that part where he came back and then was leaving, and then everybody was up in arms. I feel like that was when that came out. So I feel like it was kind of I
think that's one of the funniest disses you could do is to compliment them, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And being sarcastic. It's not you're being whatever, dude, you at least you're good looking, right? And you're wait, what is he saying I'm not good looking? Is he saying I'm good looking? I don't like this tone in general, so I'm going to take it as disrespect. But I definitely have some thoughts about Sean from this episode. So, thank you, Beth, for that comment. I think we'll dive more into Sean and Aaron B with our conversation this week. So just wanted to highlight that. Thanks for your comment of the week. You could get comment of the week too. All you got to do is leave a thought-provoking comment from the show or what you're thinking, your thoughts, and maybe it'll be highlighted in our next video. At this time, I would like to plug our full podcast. Make sure you're listening or subscribing, giving us a review. If you like our commentary on this stuff, of course, leave that subscribe, give us a thumbs up, because that really does does help us out here, getting more people to watch us, and we can put more into this if you guys are giving us some more too. I mean, we're here for the long run. We've been doing this, but just really nice to see our community grow. But the podcast is also where you can find more from us. You know, this is just the one part of our podcast that we put on YouTube. You know, the full podcast is available everywhere you listen to podcasts. You know, the popular places, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Go listen to us. We talk about pop culture a lot more than just Bachelor and Bachelor Nation stuff. So if you want to get to know us more, you enjoy listening to us, that's the place to get more for now, because, you know, the more we get, the more we give, and maybe there's going to be more places to find more. You know, just, you know, say more one more time. More. Anyways, V, why don't we get into this week of Bachelorette? We're at week 5. It's coming down to the end, which is a weird thing to say right now.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't feel like, what's going on? Why does this feel like the shortest season ever? Why do I feel like
they're definitely speeding it up? It's definitely it's clipped together definitely much more than past seasons where things have been dragged out, etc. I think Bachelor Data on Instagram and TikTok did a whole thing about how this is like the shortest, like the quickest that the season has gone since like in the last decade. And I don't know exactly why. I don't remember exactly why what she said about it, but it's definitely like, yeah, it's week 5 and next week is hometowns. So it's a little annoying, I feel like, especially after we got like a super long season with Zach and everything like that. I'm like, come on, we're gonna get a truncated season with Charity, but here we are. Week 5.
I think it might be because, you know, we got the Golden Bachelor this year and they just have to split their time filming that stuff, maybe.
I know, but Golden Bachelor's gonna be I mean, they already started filming, that, and they were filming Charity season. They pretty much like threw her right into filming right after telling her. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I don't think it does the franchise any service by doing it like this, because you know, I don't feel like I know any of the guys well enough right now. Like, I mean, people are going home that I want to see more of, and it just doesn't feel good. Like, I feel like everyone left is a villain. I don't know why, but that's not true. But it just feels that way because it feels almost undeserving that everyone is there, if that makes any sense. So why don't we just get into it? Week 5, where do we start with this, V?
We're in New Orleans. You know, we've got Charity meeting up with the dudes. The dudes have been hanging out on or about, and Aaron's talking about how, you know, he definitely wants to get a one-on-one because he's been living in New Orleans for the last 7 years. So, you know, he's like, it's kind of like my territory. I get it. And then Sean has also been gunning for a one-on-one because he's all like, you know, me and Tanner, we haven't had a one-on-one yet, and hometowns are next week. Like, this is make or break for us. And then, you know, Charity walks up on them as they're drinking. I don't know if it's like the most orange juice heavy mimosas or screwdrivers or what they're drinking, that they're all clinking together their orange juice glasses. But she walks up on them and she's like, hey. And then she's like, anyways, dates start now, haha. And a carriage rolls up and she picks Joey and they go on like a little tour around the city, like doing, you know, the streets of New Orleans together. And they hit up like, you know, a tarot reading. They hit up a little custom poem situation. They're like learning about each other throughout these like fun little street stops. They're getting handsy, they're getting cutesy. They like each other a lot. They're definitely, the way that like you could see Joey looking at her, you could tell like he's definitely super into her, and they're having a great time. They're having a great date.
I don't know why. This was the episode that something didn't feel right about Joey for me. I don't know what it was. I really can't put my finger on it. I don't know. I really don't. I know he's like probably a fan favorite or something, but
yeah, I love him.
Yeah, I just something just felt off for me about it. To go back to Aaron B, like I'm trying to think and put myself in this situation. Like if we went to Atlanta, like would I want to be the hometown or the one-on-one at Atlanta. Like, I don't even know if, like, I hate that he's getting so butthurt about it, because like, if I was on The Bachelor and we came to Atlanta, it's not like I would be like in control of what I was showing her around Atlanta.
Right. He's like so butthurt. He's like so, he's all like, how could, like, I mean, I should be on a one-on-one. Like, this is, but he also, like, the way he talks, it's so funny. I was like watching Jared Fried's, his stories about it. And the way he talks, it's true. Jared Fried was like saying, like, he sounds like a robot. He like sounds like like he's always reading from a script. And like Aaron B, I think that's what always gets me about Aaron B, is that it really, like, I'm like, you get pissed, but like you have no emotion otherwise. Like you're just like kind of like robotic.
There's no soul in it. Like, you know, it's kind of like and that's what's really made me feel like he's the villain of this season. I know there's people that like Aaron, like, you know, I don't know. I think that just shows like the divisiveness of this type of show. It's kind of, or just our country in general. You know, where you're gonna,
wow.
Yeah, you just kind of, you know, some people just see it this way and some people see it that way. Like, you know, some people see as Aaron B as being noble and like a good person, but to me personally, I just don't see anything like standoutish about him. Like, you know, yeah, he's nice to Charity when he's around her and stuff like that, but I don't know, like I just don't see like great characteristics.
I don't see it.
Yeah, outside of, like, you know, the Charity moments, and I don't know, like his vibe doesn't really check with me, because, you know, I think you have to be able to manage like how you are. I don't know, it seems like he probably has friends in the house and stuff, but he's verbally said he doesn't care about like anything else besides Charity here, so right. That's what we're getting. So yeah, Joey, you know, has a great date. Maybe the reason why I didn't like it is because this is literally the point of the show that I don't like the first part of the show. Like, obviously that's probably why I don't like Joey right now, because that shit was boring. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I know,
but they at least had a good. I will say that they had a good. I like, props to Charity. She brought up, like, during their dinner date portion, she talks about like interrelationships and like interracial relationships and what that means to her, and like I guess her ex was white or whatever, and like just like that impact, and like he like definitely was like very open to, like, he's like, I definitely want to understand and learn more. I know I can never fully feel like how you feel in any of those moments, but like I want to be able to like be there and do this or like learn or whatever. And like she definitely was all like, that's like really nice, like, and I, you know, that's all I can really ask from you. And they have a nice little moment, and then he tells her that he's falling in love with her. So he's first one to say that he's falling in love, which when they're talking about, like, you know, going to hometowns and stuff, something I feel like they didn't talk about, which I feel like we might need to in the future, they have to, is that homie's living in Hawaii. You know, I mean, how is that going to work out with them? Like,
I don't know, but I mean, Hawaii sounds a lot more appealing than most places. You know,
then, like, you know, where's, because we're like, she's from Cumming, Georgia, isn't she? Or like Columbus, Georgia?
Yeah.
Not Cumming. She's from Columbus.
Yeah. I mean, I would be like, you know, if I'm in love, Hawaii wouldn't be a bad place to be, like, you know, where
go and live with my boyfriend or fiance that is a tennis pro in Hawaii, or make him come back to the mainland. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the first one. So yeah, they have their date. What's happening back at the house?
So back at the house, you know, the dudes are still like, I hope, like, you know, our man Sean is out here like holding a wine, looking like a priss, just like being all like, you know, like, I better get this one-on-one. I need a one-on-one. Like, I need this time, blah, blah, blah. And then they get the date card. And once again, they're back to, I feel like last season they did a lot of cop knocks for the date cards, and they're back on the cop knock game for the date cards. And they get the date card, and Dotun reads it, and it's like, he's all like, Sean and Tanner. And I was like,
Yeah.
Which, this is the stupidest 2-on-1 ever. Like, why? It's just like, I get it. It's because like both of them, she kind of needs to figure shit out. But it's like, no,
it's another reason why you can tell that they're speeding through this season. Like, there's just there's something weird happening on the behind the scenes of why they need to go so fast or whatever. I mean, why are we at hometowns on episode 6? Is that normal?
I don't think so.
What the heck is going on? Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, and the fact that they need to eliminate these people like so harshly. Like, sometimes we don't even get a 2-on-1, right? It's not like we get that every season. So it's like they're just forcing
usually
this.
it's like more for like, I would have really liked a 2-on-1 with like Braden and Aaron last week. Like, it's more for like the drama of like people who are combative and whatever. And like Sean and Tanner have no bad words to say about each
that's
other.
what makes me feel like they're like, we need to get rid of an extra person before the rose ceremony. That's like all this felt like to me. Now,
which is putting a lot of pressure on Charity, because I feel like she obviously, I mean, it's not like she's signing off on the idea of like a 2-on-1 or whatever in most of these cases, it seems like. But
yeah, I mean, what this came down to me for was right now, like Tanner was like my favorite person. I don't know if it's because he talks the least or whatever like that, but like
Tanner was like just so level-headed. He, like, I feel like he understands his place in a lot of this. Like, he was doing the most he could, but like in a way that made sense for like their relationship, and like talking to her and like whatever. Like, on this date, you could tell he was feeling a little insecure because he's all like, it seems like Sean's pulling out all the moves. Feels like her and Sean are like getting like, are vibing more, but like I don't know what else to do besides like what I'm doing. Like, you know, maybe Sean's gonna win out. Like,
he didn't come off genuine. Like, you know, it just felt like he was just trying to win. Like, that was all that
Sean?
I was going. Yeah. So, I mean,
Sean like purposely like pulled her aside to do a quick makeout, do whatever. Like, it just like, and you could tell like when she pulled back, she's like, sweetie boy. Like, I don't like, to me, I couldn't tell if that was like her being honest or her being like, wow. Like, it just, I couldn't. Like, to me, I was like, okay.
I mean, read the room. Like, yeah, I mean, it might feel good to him, but like for her, it's like awkward as shit to do that in front of like Tanner, you know?
Right.
So yeah, it just didn't. And so then we get into the dinner portion of it. You know, Tanner wasn't feeling too hot coming off of like the day part of this, but
especially since she pulls Sean for like their alone time first at the dinner.
Yeah,
like he's like standing outside being like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and if I was Tanner, I'd be like, I don't understand how this dude is like. I mean, I do understand. He's just talking a lot and inserting himself in like most of the things. But if I was Tanner, I'd be like, man, like, I just can't see her picking this fucking dweeb, like, over me.
Yeah.
But then that also getting in your head, like, is she picking this dweeb over me right now? Like, you know, that type of stuff could be very confusing.
I know, he, like, wore, like, a full, like, cardigan to go sit on a boat in the bayou. Like, what are we doing? Like...
Yeah. So, I mean, I think she was so torn that the 101 didn't even work the way it was supposed to. She doesn't end up giving a rose to anybody because she's just like, I want to get rid of Sean, but like I really don't know if that's the move right now. I don't want to get rid of Tanner. Like, Tanner is like a good-looking, sweet man.
They built some momentum.
Yeah.
You know? He kind of like, he gave like, you know, a little bit of a sob story about his last relationship, and they like were able to connect and everything, and she's all like, shit, I thought this was going to be easy, but it's definitely not. She had no idea who to choose, so she doesn't.
So this leaves, you know, Sean just kind of
Sean's
spiraling.
Pissed. Tanner's relieved.
Yeah, I mean,
Sean is upset.
This is what I would say would be the spiral of the season. I don't know. Braden, I guess, had a spiral himself, but it was more of like, this one was Sean being like, thinking he had a closer connection with Charity, and that's because he's probably used to getting what he wants, like, in his life, you know.
That's I'm telling you, it's the like, just wait, do you know who my father is, like, energy. Like,
totally.
That is the energy he was giving in that elevator on the way back from this date, being all like, how could she? Mm-hmm. Like, me not get a rose? Like, that is the energy he was giving. And it just, like, I get being frustrated and I get being upset because you want that validation, but that's all he says the entire time. He's like, he wants validation. But it's like, to me, I'm like, do you just want validation, or do you want an actual, like, loving, caring relationship? Like,
yeah, I mean, to me, it just goes down to, it always goes down to like, he's not that into you, or she's not that into you. Like, if a person wants to call you, they're gonna call you. There's no wondering, like, I wonder if he's doing this or whatever. Like, if it just comes down to as simple as that. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, there could be like some like middle gray area or something, but like when it really comes down to it, you don't need validation, or you don't need to ask for validation if a person is willingly giving it up to you, which she's doing to other people. Like, we got Dotun who's getting a second one-on-one.
A second one-on-one, back-to-back.
Yeah, dude, like, Sean, you should be worried, but, like, you shouldn't expect anything because you're obviously not, it's not coming your way, So, let's talk about that next one-on-one.
Yeah, so Dotun gets that one-on-one. Sean's a little pissed when Dotun gets it because he's like, wow, like, you just had a one-on-one. This is my city. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's just a little, like, pissed.
I mean, I think Aaron B's just as pissed, but he's a little better at composing himself than Sean is at this moment. Because because he's
a robot. He's literally like, this is my city, but I'm upset, but
yeah, I mean, it's very intimidating with all your feelings. On top of that, you get a guy getting a second one-on-one 2 weeks in a row. Like, that's kind of unheard of too.
And like, you can't hate on Dotun. He's like such a nice dude.
Oh,
he's
dude.
Like,
he should win. Like, that's definitely that's
he's the one to beat. I think right now. Like they go on this little half marathon that's known in the New Orleans area, and they're like stopping for food and drinks and shit along the way. You can tell they like really like each other. Like, he's like, this just feels like right. This feels normal. This feels like this is us doing us. Like, and she's like really feeling him too. Like, they just like were laughing and having a good time. He is so tall, dude. He is like 5.
Yeah, he got taller.
He's like 6'7".
You know why I think he got taller this episode is because Charity can't wear like heels while she's running. So she's
she
like,
can't wear heels while she's running.
Yeah.
So he was definitely, he looked like.
You know what? I do want to say like about Dotun, because, and so I apologize right now. Like, of course, like, my maintenance dude wants to be. Well, he turns it off right when I'm talking about him. But they're doing they're cutting a lawn out there, so apologies for that noise. But essentially, I can tell he's a great person, because like, this would be another part of the show where I'm like, this is boring, like, move it along. But like, that doesn't even affect the way I feel about Dotun, because like, he's so, am I saying his name right? Are we saying his name right?
I think we're saying it right. I don't know. Dotun
sounds correct. But yeah, I mean, he's just so sweet. Like, you want to see him keep going. They
definitely have like a deep emotional connection. So
they have dinner, and all the guys back at the house are concerned about like, is it gonna be because now they're counting roses, hometowns, of course. There's 4 people that go on those, and he comes back, that only leaves 2 more roses for 3 or 4 guys.
For 3 guys.
3 guys. So he does end up getting that rose. So
4 guys.
Yeah. So
you're right, 4 guys.
So he does end up getting that rose, so it only leaves 2 roses left, which really sends Sean for a spiral. And what happens next? So
she originally puts I guess I did have this in the right order. I switched around. But so they get the date card, and like, she puts Sean and Tanner back into like this group date situation where they're going to be there with Xavier and Aaron B. And Sean, is not having that. He's all like, no, I gotta let my feelings be known. Like, I gotta go and I gotta do this. And so he goes to her hotel room, and they sit and talk, and like, he pretty much, it seems like he's mostly making a case for why he should have gotten a one-on-one, and like, why that's what they need, like, why whatever. And she pretty much starts to tell him like, maybe we're not in the right place. Like, I wanted to give you a chance on this other date.
I love watching this. Like, there's nothing more than seeing someone get served like what they deserve. Like, you're just sounding so annoying. I found myself just talking to the TV, being like, shut up, dude, like, shut up. Like, and finally,
I know, because then she's like trying to like be like, okay, well, this is how this goes, like, blah blah blah, like, I'm sorry, like, she's like, I thought I was doing the right thing to be as fair as I could, like, in this situation. And then he's like, but anyways, like, and he just kind of like keeps going in, and she's all like, because she like kind of pretty much tells him like, maybe this isn't maybe this isn't gonna work out. And he like overrules that, and she's like, nah, like, you know what? I think we're not in the place. Like, I can't feel good about even taking you to, you know, going to your hometown next week. We're not there yet, so like, let me see you out, homie.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounded kind of pathetic, like, not gonna lie, like, and I mean, we've all been there, but you know, he was just like really fighting for that last chance of being like, I really do think if we get that one-on-one time, we can really, you know. And it's just like, dude, no,
like it's, yeah, like at this point, like if your guys' feelings like aren't where they need to be, like if she's telling you that she doesn't feel that way, like no amount of other like one-on-one time is really gonna like change that at this point.
Yeah. So she ends up sending him home, and I loved it. I really did. I mean,
I did too, because she was like, okay, you're literally not listening to me, but you're gone pretty much. She's like, I don't know what else to tell you.
He was in between the Brayden and the Aaron B for me. Like, it was like those three, like on the like spectrum of villain. It would have been like Brayden, Sean, Aaron B.
Right.
Just because Aaron B started more drama, that'll always get you higher on my list than, and Sean was just talking shit the whole time, but never really brought it towards any of the guys in the house or anything like that. So yeah, he gets sent home. That would have been really weird to see their hometown. I don't know, like, I wonder.
It would have been fake. It would have just been like, it would have been like going through the motions. Like, they never connected. Like, they had a moment, because he kept bringing that up. He's like, I just think back to Oceanside. I think back to... I'm like, you guys had a moment on the boardwalk. Like, that's it. Like, you know.
So, you know, he ends up going home. I'm very happy about it. So that just leaves us with 3 guys left to fight over, the 2 roses. And... you know, at the end of that date, she was supposed to give out, I don't know, was that supposed to be a rose ceremony initially?
That date was so bizarre to me, because it was like literally they just like sat around in different rooms and talked, and like I don't even really remember what she talked to Aaron B about, but whatever. Like, she talked to Xavier about like how he was like worried about like marriage and things like that and commitment. And
I feel like he should have gone home. He should have gone home.
I feel like that could have been an easy, like, but I think she sees something in him, and like they definitely connected, and like I think, you know, they talked more about where they could be or what he wants to do or whatever, and like, you know, and Tanner's there, and Tanner's like kind of just being like, I'm building on my momentum, I think I can do this, but like she pretty much just tosses Aaron B a rose, and she's like, you're Gucci, see you next week. And he's all like, ah, ha, ha. And I'm like, I don't even know what you did to deserve this rose.
I mean,
like,
it makes
no sense to me.
At this point, I can just tell the way she let Tanner go was that she was just like not wanting to look stupid at hometowns, which it's already going to feel like that anyways because it's so short. But like I mean, she brought up the point with Tanner of like when she does decide to send him home and give the rose to Xavier. Is it Xavier or just Xavier?
Xavier, I think.
Yeah, you know, she tells him, I just don't know what I'm going to say to your family when we're talking about, like, you know, 3 weeks from now when I'm going to get married to you and how we're going to explain our love when there's not really a story there, which I just think is a lame excuse. Like, I feel like that could have been a huge... I mean, there's been dates where people meet their family, like on the first... like on the second week of the show, you know what I'm saying?
You're
so
right.
I just don't think that's a good enough excuse to let someone like good like Tanner go, especially when you got Xavier on this side, who is like a decent person, but you know, he's straight up telling you that like it's the opposite of like all the other stuff people are saying to her, like I'm falling for you. Like he's just like, I can maybe get there, like okay, whatever, right. Dude. Like, I'd rather take my chances with Tanner. He just seems like I mean, obviously he made it far to be where he's at.
But we don't know anything about him either. I feel like
maybe that's why I like him so much.
I feel like, yeah, it's a weird spot because, yeah, she once, like, before she even got to that, she didn't give out that second rose at that weird group date. And then, yeah, she goes, like, it looks like it's supposed to be, like, a mini rose ceremony. And that, because, like, the boys are dressing all up. So like, when she goes and breaks up with Tanner and sends him home, like, he's all dressed up and she's just in, like, an outfit, like, jeans and a shirt and a cardigan. And, you know, she goes and breaks up with him. And then Xavier, like, comes to, I guess, wherever they're supposed to be doing this mini rose ceremony, and she's once again just in her little outfit, and then she pretty much is like, hey, like, you know, she kind of fakes him out. She does, like, the whole, like, you know, I don't know, but, like, I feel like we
She's
have
like, I don't
something,
have to
blah,
give
blah.
out this rose.
Huh?
She's like, I don't have to give out this rose.
I know. I'm like, then don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like Xavier, but I'm like, I would love to see what his hometown date, and we're gonna, but I'm like, I'm like, you seem to not know what you want in this situation, and you seemed pretty sure about Joey and Dotun and I guess Aaron B, but
I don't know. I really just don't see her really liking Aaron B that much. Like, I just don't. Like, it's just not there.
Yeah, I don't know if she's really hanging on to their first date, like, so much or what, because I don't know. Or if she just liked him. I think she did initially like how he, like, stood up for her, but, like, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't see him standing up next to Joey or Dotun. You know, I think he's just a solid pick for hometown dates, but he's going home probably, you know, in the next week or two. Definitely not making it further than. So what does that leave us? Like, how many episodes are we going to have?
I'm guessing, like,
8?
I mean, if we have hometowns next week, I'm guessing then that leaves us that leaves us with, like, maybe, like, 3-ish or 4 more episodes.
If there are 4
like,
more episodes, then they're really gonna, like, milk the fantasy suites in the last couple days.
Then
or
maybe
something.
just 3, because
like I don't know.
Hometowns are next week. Then maybe, like, Men Tell All.
Oh,
and
yeah, I forgot about those
fantasy suites, and then
After the Rose.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get a little peek into hometowns. What do we see from that?
Well, so what I realized is that Joey's the only white one. So that's going to be definitely a big conversation, too, is just figuring out that. It looks like she has some sort of weird conversation with his dad. It looks like either Xavier's mom or somebody, like, tells her something, or, like, she gets emotional about something in that situation, but it looks like Xavier's mom is saying that he is ready for marriage. I don't know. It's very confusing. It looks like they're tossing all of that around, being all, like, you know, it looks like a lot of, like, parents being unsure about the process, parents being unsure about whatever, but pretty run of the meal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, though. If, like, Charity walked into my living room, I can't picture my parents being like, I don't know if he's ready. Like, I don't know. Like, I would just be like, oh, no, this girl is amazing. You know, we need to get him married to her, you know, and start their life.
The preview for the rest of this season looks like she's all like, who I'm sending home is gonna be a surprise to him, or, like, whatever. And I'm like, if she fucking sends him Dotun, I'm gonna kill somebody. Like, if she breaks that man's heart, I swear to God, like, I mean,
it's very possible. I feel like Charity doesn't make the best decisions. Like, I just, like, this with the Sean decision, that was a good decision, but to send Tanner home over Xavier. You know, obviously I'm not in her shoes, but I just feel like you were better off picking Tanner. Like, I think you had enough time to actually build that stuff with her. But I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see how it plays out. Well, what are your guys' thoughts? Like, were you happy Sean went home? How are you feeling about the 4 guys left? Who do you think is the standout? Who do you think is going home next week? Do you think Tanner should have been sent home? Do you think he should have stayed over Xavier? What are your thoughts? What do you think Joey's dad has to say about Joey on hometowns next week? Let us know in the comments below. V, is there anything else happening in Bachelor Nation?
Yeah, so there's been, like, rumors that Michael A. and Danielle have broken up. There was, like, stuff on Dumois, and people think that because they haven't posted together. But then Michael A had posted like something to his story the other day, being all like, it's something about like being people lying, and like he's like, I don't know, like should I stand up or should I not feed into whatever, which to me makes me feel like that's him talking about Dumois or something. I don't know. So interested to see like what's going on there. And then there's still like some breakup rumors swirling around Greg and Victoria Fuller, but I haven't seen more about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the way they were just posting a lot with each other to not really. I mean, I'm checking up on it just for the fact that we got like the show and everything, but I really haven't seen any pictures of like, Greg, like Victoria has been posting a lot of. The only thing I've seen to like be on the contrary is that he posted a video about like, I forgot some promotion or something he was doing with, I don't know, like a little girl. It was either like his niece or cousin or whatever the hell it is, and she commented on it and he commented back like she was like she's the like this little girl's the real star, and like because I guess he's an actor as well. I just don't see him being a good actor. I don't know, but
remember that was like the whole thing that was like during Katie Thurston's season that people are all like, he's here to.
Yeah, I mean, if the role is to play a F-boy, I think he could play that role perfectly. But and then I was also seeing people comparing Joey to Greg, and I was like, hell no, like there's no comparison.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that to Joey.
Yeah, don't do that to Joey. I'm not a huge fan of Greg at all. Like I don't see like what the huge appeal of him ever was. No. Like, do you think he's cute?
I don't think so. Not really.
I mean, not even just like physically, like he's just not cute at all. Like,
he just was like he burned the bridge for me, like thinking he was attractive, just like with how he left Katie Thurston's season and like the shit that he was saying there. So I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Anything else?
Raven, Bachelor Nation couple, Raven and Adam Gottschalk, welcomed their second child this past week, so congrats to them. And then our girl Gabby from who was one of our last Bachelorettes, it's being a little shifty shady. It looks like she's been posting these last pics, or like even some of her Instagram stories recently. She'll like scribble out somebody who's in the frame with her, and like in her most recent like carousel of Instagram photos from like some trip that she was on, you could see an arm, and you could see like whatever, you could see like these pictures are being taken by someone, and stuff like that. So people are like, somebody had put in the comments being like, Gabriella, there's a man in these photos. So she might be doing a little bit of a soft launch, or we'll see.
Warm people up to the fact that I don't know, man. It's hard for me to care about these Bachelor Nation people if they're not dating other Bachelor Nation people, but then I also complain about how they don't go outside of their circle.
You're like, yeah, you usually are like, it's so incestuous.
Well, it is, but the fact is like we run a show here and we need that content, and it's just boring ass content to go and get yourself in a relationship with a normie, Don't get us into. If you want to go in and get someone from the Jersey Shore, all right, I'll take that. But don't get yourself just some like rich, good-looking dude, that sells houses or whatever the hell he does, or as a lawyer. Like, yeah, good for you. Go off.
It's always like a realtor or a lawyer. You're right.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, what do you guys think? Do you care about who Gabby's dating? Hopefully you do, because that's kind of what we talk about here. Raven, Adam, good for them. I don't know. They don't really highlight them as much anymore as like, Bachelorette, Bachelor royalty. Maybe they just don't play. Yeah. They're like, we came.
I think they're just like, they've chilled out. I think they're too busy like trying to like raise their family and stuff a little bit more.
And Raven's already successful in her own right. So, and do we really care about Michael A? Like they kind of stopped with that. I don't know. I'm sure there was a lot of difficulties with that, but we'll just have to see. So just leave us in the comments below for your shout out next week, and for when we come back with hometowns in week 6. Weird to say, but it's actually happening. So, let us know.
Future Bachelor Podcast.